What's up, everyone? Another day, another live stream. We like him. Okay, what's up? Are you doing good? Right? You're doing good? This is actually also a nice song. I know I put the volume down, but it's like this hype, you know, it's building. Okay, we're gonna, of course, answer the question on the thumbnail. But what we do and how we answer that question is with the help of Elliott wave analysis, which is the expertise on the channel and very likely the expertise of many of you. So, what we're gonna do in this particular live stream is three things. First of all, we always say hi. All right. So that is what we're gonna start with. Second, after chatting for a little bit, I have also someone to congratulate and a little bit of news for all of you as well. So that's what we're gonna start with. And then we get into the analysis. I'm gonna start on the weekly again because especially with where price is and how price is moving, it is very important to start on the higher time frames. It might be repetitive for some, but don't forget, I'm the one talking about it all the time. But nonetheless, I think it's good because we need to always have the higher time frame perspective to make sense of the lower time frames as well and how they impact the higher time frames, right? So that is what we're going to do. So we have the analysis and then we go in chatting and Q&A, and if you have questions and all the other good stuff, I'll be here to answer as much as I can before I then have to go in about an hour, one and a half hours. So first of all, what's up, Jeroen? Good to have you here. Such a legend. What's up, Jeroen? Kevin, Dion, Samuel, Carla. By the way, I think, Carla, this is your first ever message on the YouTube channel, if my memory is correct. And I'd like to welcome you for being here from Boston, other side of the world. Good morning for you. Adam, what's up? Also from the US. Mido, JP, M58. You are drinking steak and beer, or eating and drinking steak and beer tonight. Some nice profit. I think Bitcoin shoots up the moment Koen's mouse senses any movement. I do have a good mouse though. Market maker watching Koen's analysis, won't be surprised. Got grounded in Delhi, right? Not Delhi. Delhi. Christian, hope you're doing good with your travels. Grounded at the moment, but hopefully it is sorted soon though. Good afternoon from Paris. Yo, Jeba, if I can call you like that, instead of Jeba Malan Sam Jubinson. Jeba, are you watching the Olympics? Are you visiting any sports there? Absanul, good morning from Vietnam. What a legendary place that is, eh? For all the wrong and right reasons in a way, but yo, welcome. Hi everyone, by the way, for the ones that don't know me, my name is Koen, 31 years young, trader, entrepreneur, and analyst, I suppose, on YouTube. Started as a hobby, but look at where we are now. I didn't really plan for things to go this way, but it all grew a lot quicker than I expected. And I since now a few days live in the south of France, but I am Dutch. Dara, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as diagonal A, then expanded wave B, and we are in the C. That is one of the scenarios that I already thought of, but the reason I didn't show this scenario is because wave B did not touch the 302, which is low probabilities. So yes, you are correct with the wave A, B, and the wave C towards the upside, right? You're absolutely correct. That is a scenario. The reason I didn't show it is because of probabilities. Right, so you take a fib from the low to the high and price did not touch the 0.302, which generally is a minimum target for B and a wave 2. So therefore, preferably, we would be looking for, at this point, a flat structure to move in the fibs and then move up for a bullish scenario and then a diagonal A, B, C. Of course, your alternative would be, yes, A, B, C, and you continue down. So therefore, proof of support is necessary. But before I really jump into analysis stuff, I'll get to that in a second. But Dara, you are correct, but it wasn't missed. It was low probabilities, so it wasn't covered. Of course, in the videos, I can't cover all of these scenarios because I'll just confuse everyone if I usually post more than 2 scenarios per time frame. So I try to keep it as simple as I can. How you doing? Welcome. Sam, welcome later in the past. Bettina, what's up? How you doing? MT, Joshua, RK, good day. Good to have you. AJ, John, hello from Ireland. Still have to visit Ireland. Very rainy, but beautiful, as far as I've heard. Chingy. Is there a possibility of turnaround right now? Yes, but I would like the blue box to be hit. That is my main area of resistance, actually. Christian, hope so, and I will analyze the lower time frames for you in a second as well. Right? Karen K, Holo Crypto, Ali, what's the most valuable Bitcoin chart according to your opinion? It depends what you're looking for, I suppose. If you want to analyze the monthly time frame, I would suggest going to index, and in most cases, analyzing Elliott waves on index on the index chart is very good. But I use Coinbase because of a personal strategy outside of Elliott waves, and the wicks are just, and the volume is nicer on the Coinbase chart, just for analysis purposes. I don't trade on Coinbase, I just use the chart. John, what's up? How you doing? Yo, good evening, man. Hopefully you have a good time there, all the way in Australia. Hunter, what's up? Kevin Dion, 1-to-1 still possible? No, it is still possible, not invalidated. But it is so incredibly bullish that it was mentioned by, I'll show it in a second, by Jay-Z. I was talking to Jay-Z about it in the Golden Elliott Waves chat. So let me show you. If I go to Jay-Z here, I was talking to him about it, and he had a very nice. So what he said is exactly what I say on the live stream. So we were talking. I said, "Yo, what's your opinion?" Right? Because I say this on the live stream. He says, 112 is possible. It's not invalidated. And I know 2 excellent Elliotticians who have the possibility. Maybe I'm one, maybe not. But I do have it in my folders. So I'll definitely keep a lookout for it. Me too. According to the stock to flow model, yeah, I'm not really into all the models, but I do hear of these targets. But especially the end, the 1.618 FIP for the current wave 3, we just missed out at 76K, but we got close, and that is standard, right? And I'll be just conservative and let Bitcoin show me if it wants to go higher. And that is exactly how I approach the chart. Of course, you can talk about a 112 on the weekly, but let's first take all-time high, and then we'll take it from there. So as long as we don't take all-time high, I prefer a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The moment we take it, the 112 comes back on the chart. Better be conservative and look for a wave 5 than being way too bullish over the moon, 1 million Bitcoin by next year and all that stuff, right? Moon boy stuff. It's not that, like, we'll observe the reaction as price comes up, but I'll show it in the analysis, right? We're going to start the analysis in a second. Dawa, what's up? Galaxy, how you doing? Tickets to see the best sport are very expensive, but it's really nice to go to Paris. There aren't many people as expected. Oh, that's interesting. You would think with the Olympics it's packed, but it's nice. Good you're rediscovering Paris. Is there a low probable? Yes, it is still on the cards, right? But it's something I'll show you. Hello from Korea. Andrew, Rudy, Arsom. Yo, Arsom, by the way, guy from the email. Kevin, and how do you get your order blocks? I'm not sure if I have a video about it on YouTube. I do have a video about it in the Gold membership, but I'll show that later. First want to get to the analysis. Enzor, Senna, JZ, JMac, what's up, guys? So thanks for being here. We're gonna start in a second. First of all, 2 things. Please congratulate Yuri, and it is his first profit made with Elliott waves. He is studying Elliott waves. He's very new to Elliott waves as well. And he's practicing, trying, had a few losses, made his first buck. First buck, I mean, almost $900. So very, very nice. Close 50 position, risk management. So he is trying, he's studying, right? He's studying and trying to become a consistently profitable trader. And it's nice to see. He got a good score there. So keep it up, Yuri. Second, of course, if you haven't seen it, the CVD indicator is out. Just make sure you let us know if you actually have some lag, yes or no. Most people do have small freezes, including myself. Mr. Friends will look at it. But the CVD is open, it's public. But I wrote a message here in Koen's updates as well as in the YouTube community post. So please check out this message or go to YouTube and check the community post, right, as well. So that let me remove a couple of tabs because holy moly do I have tabs. So that you know how to get it. And I do know, right, I'm thinking of a solution, or not thinking, I already have one, but I need to execute it. For people that just wanna pay for something like this. I preferably offer everything free, but some people don't want free, they actually just want to pay. So, but I don't have an option for that yet. So, okay. Yeah. So the CVD indicator with the lines is out, right? Just read the post in Telegram, in Discord, in the community post section on YouTube. And if you want an option where you don't have to support the channel by registering at one of the partners, but just want to pay, it's still coming. But I thought many people like free, but seems like not everyone. Okay, let's start. Solid Fab. You may have so I don't actually let people like everyone. Yeah, I'll check that later. Solid Fab. Oh, Solid Fab, by the way, you already have access. Yeah, I see it in my Google form. You already have the role. Okay, let's start. You keep an eye for everyone that is filling in the form because we give you the role in Discord, but it's difficult to write everyone an email and be like, oh, by the way, we gave you the role. So keep an eye. You will see the channel appearing in your Discord here. Koen's CVD, Koen's setups, right? These two. So just so you know. We want to pay for the setups too. Why I always was like, yeah, I want to give as much as I can for free, I mean, I don't really want people to pay for too much, but it's like people want to. I didn't expect that stuff, guys. Oops. Water. Okay, let's start. We're going to answer the question on the thumbnail. Right? Bull market to 100K. Here's what you should know. We are at minute 18 in the live stream. Let me wait a few seconds. People hate free these days. Yeah, I guess. I just, yeah, okay. It's stuff we can talk about in chatting and Q&A. Let's start the analysis, okay? So, on a weekly time frame, this is what we're looking for, right? And I will answer the question of Kevin, but this time with the chart as well. So here we have a 5-wave impulsive structure. This is currently the highest probability Elliott wave scenario. So we're answering the question with the help of Elliott waves, right? So a move to the upside, impulsive, counted as 5 waves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The only way this bull market turns into a higher probability bear market is if we are going to lose 38.5K, pretty much. Let's say 40K, right? The official invalidation here is 37.7K. But the target area you see here is the common target area for a wave 4. And after a wave 4, you want to see a wave 5 towards the upside. Target for 5, 81K, 129K. Right? 100K is pretty much bang in the middle. Now we first need to wait for price to show us an impulsive structure to the upside so we can get more specific, because the target area now is very, very big. But at least the probabilities are higher, as we write on the thumbnail as well, right? To 100K. Doesn't necessarily mean hit 100K, but at least the probabilities remain higher to move towards a 6-digit number per 1 Bitcoin, right? The support area for 4 on the chart, 236.05, taken from the low to the high of 357.1, 42.8. Right, we pretty much hit the middle, 382, around 49K. Wave 4 of a higher degree likes to retrace to the wave 4 of a lower degree. Yellow wave 4 higher degree, green wave 4 lower degree. We have hit this wick. So that is also something that we can at least check, right? Another reason that the probabilities are higher for a wave 4 here is because of the daily time frame scenarios, which I will show you in a second, right? So first of all, again, this is currently the highest probability bullish scenario. The alternative, very bullish scenario is what you see here. That is a double 1-2. And this is a question I just answered from Kevin. He says, is the double 1-2 still on? Is this still a scenario? Now, what this means, by the way, is that after a 1-2-1-2, you expect a massive wave 3. 100K is absolute peanuts, right? You're expecting 200, 300 more K, right, per Bitcoin in a double 1-2 scenario. But this is so incredibly bullish, right? While at the same time, in both scenarios, you need to take out the current all-time high first, right? So instead of thinking about absolute moonboy shit, let's keep our feet on the ground and first consider a wave 5 to the upside with the potential of extension to higher targets. But that is something we will analyze once we actually move to the upside and take the all-time high, right? So this is a conservative scenario, and the absolutely, definitely not conservative scenario, right, is a double 1-2. Now, what do you want to see? In a double 1-2, you're looking for a wave 3 that is very big, right? High amount of volume, great breakout, and no big sideways ranges very soon after breaking out, right? We want to escape this range to the upside. So we want to see this. That's fine, right? That's fine. What you don't want to see for a double 1-2, but you do want to see for a wave 5, is this. And then range, bit of a drop, range, and then poof, right? So a much longer sideways structure. That is something that we'll have to wait for, right? We got to wait and see. So probabilities are highest still for price to take out the all-time high, moving ever so close to 100K. Of course, we always need a bearish scenario as an Elliott wave analyst, not the highest probability as it stands, right? But we do at least have it in the folders to have a 3-wave structure and continue up. Probabilities only really increase if we move below 40, preferably 38.5K, and then a minimum target would be a 30.4K. But we first need to see significant weakness locally before we really start talking about it. And at the moment, that is not yet the case. So yeah, not yet the highest probability. On the daily time frame, right, we are looking for that wave 4, remember, and a wave 5 to the upside. In wave 4, we then look for a 3-wave corrective structure, and the last area of support for the bulls is this green box, 52.641.9, and then we want to see price moving out of this box towards the upside. Therefore, you can also see we still have a lot of space. Now, the most common target for C is the 1 to the 1.236, and that is hit, as you can see, with a wick. No? This is still perfectly fine for a wave C, all the way down to the 1.618, but it starts to be very low. We have hit very important support on the chart, right? So that is tagged. There is important support at 55K. Okay, cool. Wouldn't really like to go below 55 to be honest, but we're at the moment not close to those targets, right? But at least in a bullish scenario, also in the weekly, this is a very important level of support, and we want to see price move out of this support back towards the upside impulsively. Now, the reason why on a weekly time frame the probabilities are higher for the bulls is also because of the most bearish scenario on the daily. The most bearish scenario is that you have a leading diagonal in a wave 1. What this means is we have people call this maybe a wedge, right? But we call it diagonal in Elliott wave terms with a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave structure, 3 wave 2, and then down in 3. Minimum target would be at least 38.5K, right? However, we hit the 886 Fibonacci taken from the start to the end of wave 1. Rare target for a wave 2, common for a wave B or a wave X, increasing the probabilities. All of the price action to the downside over here is corrective, meaning wave C, wave Y, or other corrective structures, and therefore it increases probabilities to still move up to take out the all-time high on a weekly time frame and move ever so closer towards the 6 digits. And then we go to the 15-minute time frame, or let's say the 1 hour, or maybe 1 hour might actually be better here. So let's put these on as well because these are important. So on the 1 hour time frame, we are having at the moment a highest probability of an A or 1, 2 or B, C or 3 to the upside, which is a minimum of 3 waves, maximum of an impulse to the upside, right? So of course, in the most bullish scenario, we count 1, 2, and off we go, right? 3, 4, 5, past this resistance over here. If price can move above 60K, preferably, of course, retest as support, right? So, retest, move out, retest, change market, poof. Preferably with some nice bullish CVD divergences as well, right? We're going to be looking for price to move up. If you can pass this resistance, the probabilities increase to move towards the upside. No? Cool. So your bullish scenario is a wave 1, 2, continuation up in 3. Bearish scenario, however, has the same structure, okay? But instead of a 5-wave move, because an impulse is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ABC is A, B, C, and down. It's the same structure, right? And this is risk management. The moment we get a second leg to the upside, we got to wait patiently. Do we get a wave 4 or do we get a bigger retracement? We'll wait and see. No? However, what you can also see is that this low over here on the chart is made just above the 0.382, right? And of course, what Dara said earlier in the beginning of the live stream, absolutely correct, right? I can put my wave 1 or A here, count this as a flat ABC, finished. Move wave 2 here, or wave B, right? Doesn't matter. And then look for a 5-wave structure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, to finish wave C or wave 3, but for wave 3 we want to pass the resistance. But in a bearish scenario, finish C, move down. There's 2 things why the probabilities for this are lower. First of all, price did not reach the 0.382, which for a wave B and a wave 2 is usually a minimum target, right? It's very rare for a wave 2 or B to not hit at least the 382. Most common target for 2 is the 05786, which, by the way, the fips are taken from the low to this high at the moment, right? So the fips actually go a little bit lower if you take it from the low to the high. So there's an even bigger gap here, no? The common target for B is between the 382 and the 886. We haven't hit these targets, right? It's very rare for wave 2 or B to not hit at least the 382. So that's number 1. Number 2 is if we take a trend-based fib from the low to the high of A, in this case, to the low of B, your most common target for wave C is over here, right? In other words, passing this resistance, which in generally increases probabilities to move to higher prices. So what we would like to see for an ABC would be for price to create a bigger corrective structure. Struggling. Okay, let me do this. And then, if you do think about an ABC, bearish, and a move down, you take a trend-based hit from the low to the high of A or 1, to then the low of wherever it's going to be, let's say golden pocket, and then your 1-to-1 is close to the blue box, right? So you have some additional resistance next to your 1-to-1. The 0.618 is a rare target for C, okay? And you can see that if wave B is finished here, or wave 2, but in this case wave B, and we take the target for C, a rare target is the 0.618 in the resistance box. That's fine, but it's a rare target for C. And it's still higher, right? So it's not preferred that this is the low of B, plus we didn't hit the 382. So therefore, from an Elliott wave perspective, you preferably come down once more on the local time frames. Would actually be nice to first hit the resistance, not gonna lie. And then move down to resistance here to observe the reaction, right? Come down nicely, find support, wig the lows once more, start to change market structure, grind to the upside, bullish CVD divergences, boom, right? Nice, to the upside. Your most bullish scenario would be a double 1-2, yes. So you have 1-2, and then you have and another 1-2, and then 3-4-5, right? However, what lowers probabilities for a double 1-2 is, once again, your first wave 2 did not hit the 382 nor the common target for your wave 2. It's very rare for a wave 2 to not hit at least the 382. It's just Elliott wave probabilities, and the only thing that we can use is the probabilities, no? We trade probabilities, we use probabilities. So from an Elliott wave point of view, when we look at probabilities, the fact we did not even retrace to a 382 lowers the probabilities that this low is a wave B or 2, which automatically decreases probabilities for a wave C to the upside, a next 1-2 to the upside. I'm happy to be proven wrong, or not me, Elliott wave probabilities to be proven wrong by moving above the support, retest, and continue, right? But at the moment, the probabilities are higher from an Elliott wave point of view to look for B or 2 in the fibs. It's just the way it is. I can't make it any better or worse for that matter. So we are looking for a diagonal in a 1 or A, preferably a bigger 3-wave corrective structure in a 2 or B, and then another leg up in a wave C, or most bullish is a wave 3. But that is something we can only check once we actually get the move, right? We have to distinguish between a wave C and a 3, but we first need to wait for the structure, right? We don't have it yet. Okay? So that is the probabilities locally. Now, by all means, if we hit the resistance here and we reject to the downside, your bullish scenario is the flat as explained, a 3-wave A, 3-wave B, and a 5-wave C. And then continue, right? Trying not to go too fast. This is a bullish scenario to move into the fibs. Moving above resistance, retest bullish CVDs, we look up. That's your most bullish scenario, not the highest probabilities. This has the highest probabilities at the moment. Alternatively, what Dara says, if this would be A, B, and a wave C, preferably at least hitting the box, minimum target for C is in here, and we reject, there is the alternative scenario. It's lower probabilities, but this is what risk management and trading a plan, right? This is why risk management and trading a plan is important. If we then come down and reach support, I'm a reactive trader, as Mike likes to say. I'm not sure if Mike is here. If price reaches support, I want to see support, right? If price does this, I have no interest. I want to see price holding, ranging, maybe take the lows, move, change market structure, same as what I just said, grind up some nice bullish CVDs, and on we go, right? That is what I want to see when price hits the support, just to be safe. I don't have to catch the low. I don't have to catch the high. I want to take what's in the middle of the sandwich, right? That's what I care about. So with regards to probabilities on the 15-minute time frame, on position number 1 is a structure like this, right? With two alternative scenarios. Alternative scenario 1 is a finished structure going down. Support should be peanuts. We want to lose it quickly. Its alternative, lower probability. Second is a continuation moving above support, retest, and continue. It is alternative. Reason why those are alternatives: the bearish scenario, ABC down, is a lower probability scenario because your rare, this is only a rare target for C, common target is much higher at like 64K. Plus, wave B didn't hit the 382. The reason why this has a lower probability, which is most bullish, is because wave 2 and B did not hit the 382. So therefore, from an Elliott wave point of view, the highest probability is to look for rejection, support, and then continuation. Now, you know what I look for, right? In all of the cases now, if we move above the support, retest, bullish CVD and stuff, interesting, right? If we find resistance, reject, volume coming in, bear CVD, interesting. If we move down to support, I want to be patient. I wait for the reaction. I wait, wig the lows maybe, who knows, wait, structure up. Some bullish CVDs coming in, interesting, right? Patience. But from a probability perspective, the probabilities locally are very clear. So to summarize, wait, I actually have... oh yeah, and this one is now invalidated, of course. Beautiful. By the way, the reason, another thing is the probabilities, of course, as mentioned in the morning video, were higher to take out this high because we touched the 886. These probabilities have now played out because we actually took the high. So we can remove this. So if we then look at the probabilities of the different scenarios from an Elliott wave point of view, answering that question, right? Bull market to 100K, here's what you should know. The probabilities on the weekly time frame remain higher for an impulse to the upside, still looking out for all-time highs. What you should know is that the bull market is pretty much invalidated if you start moving below 38.5K, 40K. Right? We don't want to do that. The official invalidation is 37.7K. That is the moment we're going to be talking about bear market. But at the moment, there's no reason to think about a bear market because we're still at like now 57K, bounced on great support, and on a daily time frame the probabilities are lower for an impulse down and higher for a three-wave corrective structure, which means increased probabilities to still move up. What you should know on the daily is that this is your main area of support for your wave C. You want price to find support here and move up for new all-time highs, right? We have touched it once, we have enough room, right? But at least this is the main area. And on the 15-minute time frame, the probabilities from an Elliott wave point of view are higher to still look for a retracement down into the fibs as explained in detail, and another leg up to create at least an ABC minimum or 1, 2, 3 continuation. By all means, we want to be safe and look for extra proof of support here, because if you zoom out, yeah, we are still, of course, in a downtrend. No, right? We haven't changed the market structure yet, so better safe than sorry. Look for support, whatever other tools you like to use, right? I like structure, Elliott waves, CVD, that's fibs. Horizontal levels, volume profile, right? That's stuff that I look for, but I like to wait for price to show me it wants to go, and I'm happy to be part of it, no? So those are the highest probability scenarios on every time frame, and what you should know about Bitcoin reaching 6 digits from an Elliott wave point of view. Yeah, and that's pretty much it, right? So let's see what price is gonna give us. Right? What price is gonna give us? So yeah. so far in no case did we hit at least a rare target for C. So even if this is bearish, A, B, C, and you want to move down, we preferably still at least hit resistance here. So the blue box, that's your most important resistance at the moment here, right? 58.8, 60K. Most important support, 52.3 to 53K. Okay. When do we start? We started minute 16, 18, 8. Thank you, Sam. Yeah, okay. Cheers, Sam. Appreciate it, man. Plop. Pin the message. Around the top and going down. Around the top is, of course, a pattern, but it's not an Elliott wave pattern. It's just a regular trade pattern, I suppose. And with around the top, I'm not sure if you mean something like this in that case. But you know, in that case, if you preferably still hit resistance, but yeah, if you do reject, right? Absolutely. And in that case, again, what I want to see is price actually reject here. So hit this resistance, reject, right? That bear CVD's volume coming in and move down, right? So usually when price hits a level of interest for me, it takes me most of the time a few hours before I enter positions, and rarely 15 to like 13 minutes, but that's less common. Yeah. Okay, let's see what you guys are right at. Hamza, you can always use the CVD template. If you just download it and you upload it in AGGR, you can just use the template. At the moment, of course, to get to the template, preferably people support the channel by registering with one of the exchanges. And many people have done so. So thanks everyone for your support. Really appreciate that. Many, by the way, is like, I think now, I don't know the number, but in perspective with how many subscribers there are, it's of course very little. It's like 30 people or something. But thanks to the 30 for your support. Appreciate it. But I also got many messages of people saying, hey, you know, can we just pay for it? I didn't expect it at the beginning. I did think about it, like it could be an option that I would get messages like, hey, you know, like I know it's free, but I actually just want to pay for it. I don't have an option yet, but we're working on it. And then you need to decide on how to approach it, of course. After the fifth wave bear market starts, yes. But as price moves up as explained, right, and you move above all-time highs, you observe on the daily and the weekly time frame the sub waves, as well as the 4-hour and the 15-minute. But it's 4-hour daily, weekly, those are going to be more important. So you're going to wait for new ranges to form, and the new range will give us all the info that we then need, because there's the potential for at least a double 1-2. We were somewhere over here. Oh yeah, the order block question. So I mean, order blocks, I think a great example is on the weekly. So just in a nutshell, right? My favorite type of order block is a red candle in a green push somewhere in the middle, or the other way around, of course, vice versa, right? Arguably, this is also an order block on an even higher time frame. But here you have a move up, one red candle followed by a move up, right? This candle is an order block, right? You had people over here shorting in the range. Price moves up. You have some people underwater. Of course, you also have people that traded long. But as price comes back down, tends to act as an area of support. And you will be able to find order blocks everywhere. This is an order block on the daily, right? Daily time frame. Nice. Maybe I can find one on the 4 hour. A little order block here on the 4 hour in confluence with the resistance. All right. Can we go even? You will be able to find them on any time frame. On the 1 hour here locally, there's not like, yeah, it's the same. I mean, small little one here. But we actually, that's where we are now, interestingly, right? So preferably after an order block is made, you see a big move either up or down, right? And here you have price moving down, one other candle the other direction, and you get the bigger move to the downside. So that is interesting, right? Same on the 4 hour. Oh, wait, 6 hour even nicer actually. So you're of course in a downtrend, move down, one candle up, boom, right? So identifying order blocks is relatively easy. You can identify them on literally any time frame, right? Every time frame can work. And this is how I use order blocks. I guess there's different ways of using order blocks. Here is an order block on the 15-minute. I think some people, I don't know if people call this demand or also an order block, but I wouldn't use this candle, for example, right? It's not something that I would use personally. But for me, order blocks are only interesting if I use them or if they have confluence with other tools. And we do at least have an order block here, which is touched, so that's nice. But just above us, we do have a daily naked point of control. I mean, preferably we touch it, but maybe we won't. We don't know, right? But we do have at least a point of control just above us. So yeah, that's the order block question, I suppose. And if you look for order blocks, I think if you do one YouTube search on order blocks, I think if you watch 5 videos, you'll get 5 different explanations. This one was my short explanation. I have a long detailed video in gold with more examples and stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much what an order block is for me. Oh yeah, so solid fab, you got assorted because we value our time. But I'm not actually completely sure what you mean here, because we value our time. But so the setups channel, FYI, right? First link in the description, remains an educational channel, right? There's no signals here. So what I explain in the setups channel is why a trade from an Elliott wave point of view is interesting. And I explain in text, why is this setup interesting? What's the scenario we're looking for? Is there additional stuff I want to see, right? When do I lose interest? And why is that? Right? So that's stuff that I write. And it's not always that I take that particular setup that I talk about, right? Because I'm a reactive trader. I want price to hit my area of interest. And then eventually I want to see the reaction and that sort of stuff. And then I participate, no? And if I don't see what I see, I won't participate. No, so it's people still have to trade their own plan. But what I teach there is explaining how to trade Elliott waves, what to look for, why is this setup interesting versus another one, right? Because so first of all, learning the theory of Elliott waves is one. On number 2, getting a feeling, if you have enough theoretical knowledge, a feeling for the probabilities is number 2. But actually trading Elliott waves effectively is again a next step, right? And that's again where for every step people struggle. People struggle learning first. Once they learn, they still struggle to get a feel for the probabilities. And once they get a feel for the probabilities, they still struggle to trade it, right? So that is what on the channel you see as well is helping people to learn the theory is first of all be there during live streams and ask questions. Second, I have a whole playlist here. And third, in the description, I have a website which is completely for free. It's not my website, not affiliated, but lots of info. And I have the gold membership. That's number 1, right? And a feeling for the probabilities comes with the theory. So 1 and 2 are pretty much the same. And then learn how to trade it, that's the setups channel, which is also completely free. But I do appreciate at least some support. So what I then ask is, hey, it is completely free, but it would be nice if someone registers with one of the links. And it's very minimal support. Don't understand me wrong, right? Of course, those are affiliate links, but as many of you will know, it's all like those type of things. It's very small support, but we do, or I do so much free online, and it would be nice to see for the setup channel and the CVD template. But I do recognize, especially with the CVD template, some people just they want to just pay, which I didn't necessarily expect. So I need a little bit of time to get that sorted. No, it's absolutely free. So of course, the question is, how much are you willing to support, right? If you think that registering to an exchange for 15 minutes or 10 minutes is not worth it, then okay, well, maybe you don't want the template bad enough. I don't know. Now, I do recognize some people that, of course, say, hey, I like my exchange, I would like to pay, and that's okay. So we're going to just find a solution for that. Of course, right? I absolutely listen to that feedback. So we're going to sort that out. But don't come at me with time cost, because that's just bullshit. Errol, how you doing? Meet the wick of the lower wave 4 on the index. Okay, that's interesting, actually. So on the index chart, let me have a look here. Is this index? Yeah. We have a lower wick here. Oh, that's interesting. Interesting for sure here. Yeah, let's see, right? So an index, that's nice to see, right? For one more low. Well, we know the support area. I do think maybe I have to do a live stream where we are going to compare Ethereum with Bitcoin, because ETH, oh boy, what an ugly chart is Ethereum for bulls. And of course, ETH and Bitcoin, have a history together. But ETH looks a lot worse than Bitcoin. Just the chart, very bad chart. Sarika J, also that one. Yes, exactly. We are working on another option if you don't want to use the exchange option. Do you also offer personal trading coaching? No, at least not at the moment. So the thing is, of course, I sometimes get questions like these, and I do have an idea of. Let's say that I have started to think about it, but this takes, of course, a lot of time. So if I would do any form of coaching, it's going to be for a very, very small group of people, right? Because of course there's a lot going on. So it's going to be a time thing, because personal coaching, of course, is the most valuable, as in all the time is focused on one person, and I can't do anything else, but I don't have too much time. So have I considered, or I got many questions, right? I have thought about it, but it will take a while before I would consider really doing it, because then I first need to develop a program, because if I do it, I want to do it good, right? So what I then want to do is I want to create a whole program from start to finish, and I'll run with someone side by side. I'm going to run that person through the whole thing, so that it will take a little bit of time. Patrick, how you doing? Welcome. Good to have you here, man. Welcome back. I still believe that we are in wave Y. We will finish around 37 ABC. The first one-to-one is RW. Oh, yeah. So this is the comparison with Ethereum. Shall we do that tomorrow, maybe? Compare Ethereum with Bitcoin. Let me check my agenda here. 1 second. Tomorrow is Friday. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that tomorrow. ETH versus BTC. Charts side by side. Okay. Side by side counting. Yeah, interesting. So we're gonna compare the two charts because ETH looks significantly worse than Bitcoin. But of course, they're in some way related. The thing is that on Bitcoin, before we start talking about a bear market, we need significant downside, right? Like you got to lose 45K. You need to go below 42. And of course, by that time, you're already very low. The thing with probabilities and Elliott waves, of course, is that you first have bearish probabilities on a 15-minute, right? So let me show you an example. This is a good example, right? So let's start on the 1 hour. So first of all, right, in this case we do I'm not going to use this piece of the chart. I was thinking about what is the best part of the chart where I can explain what I want to explain. And that is actually this here at 24K. So when you look at Elliott waves and probabilities, even though the probabilities on a weekly time frame only switch to a bear market at like 38, 40K, right? You can already easily be short at higher levels because of the 15-minute, 1 hour, 4 hour daily. So just to explain, we here moved towards the downside and made a low at about 25K. The moment we moved to the upside here and retraced, right, we had a corrective, clear corrective, a three-wave structure down and moved up again, taking out these highs. Probabilities on a 1 hour higher to take out the high. That can be traded, right? So the first potential for a long, and then we're talking about the 1 hour. We make another high. Then we talk about a double 1-2, or do we have an ABC and we move down? We get a three-wave structure down. We don't yet know what's up. What we did know at the time, right? You can go back to the content of 10, 11 October and 12. This was, as I like to call it, a staircase structure. Down, sideways, down, sideways, down, sideways, down, sideways, down, sideways, which is something that you tend to see in wave Cs, right? So, and we had bullish CVD divergences here, but not yet confident. But then on the 15-minute time frame, we start to create this structure with consistent bullish CVDs. Probabilities higher to move up after an ABC supported with bigger bullish CVD divergences for the potential of a double 1-2. And then you go up to a 4 hour time frame because now the probabilities start changing on a 4 hour. Because now you have, okay, we have an impulse down, but if we're looking for a wave 4 and another 5 down, right? 1, 2, 3, sideways 4 and a 5. Well, this 4 is invalidated. We hit the 0.618 as well, right? We move up, probabilities increase for this impulsive structure to then be finished. And then on the 4 hour, probabilities increase to move up. And then on the daily time frame, right? Probabilities increase to move up. So by the time the daily time frame probabilities increase to move up, you're already in positions, right? And this is where Elliott waves can give very local setups, but they can easily turn into swing trades if you keep an eye on the probabilities of scenarios, right? So this here was an excellent opportunity. You don't yet know if you're looking for a deeper retracement or not, but as price then moves up and creates a range and up and a range, each range is corrective. Probabilities on every time, like each higher time frame, starts to increase for upside till eventually the weekly, and off you go, right? But on a 15-minute time frame, that's where it begins. So before probabilities on the highest time frames change, you first see the change on the lower time frames. And on the lower time frames, that's of course where it depends on your style of trading, scalping, day trading, swing trading. But that is where entries can be made, but then they can be managed from a Elliott wave perspective to potentially turn them into swings. Very, very interesting. And thank you, by the way, on the 13K. It's an incredible number. I still believe that we, 42.5. Oops. I'm running behind. Sorry, everyone. Let me go real quick here. Real quick. What's up, Boris? Welcome. And no problem, but good to have you here. On the support, you draw for the fourth wave correction. Are you using Fibonacci extended with algorithmic? It is logarithmic scale. Yes. Round the top was answered. Thunderin, what's up? Always a pleasure. Adam, Tim, hoe gaat het, kerel? In het kikkerlandje. Total 3 for Sunday. Sunday is altcoin day. We can have a look at the total charts then as well. Do we have invalidation for wave 4? Not yet. The 0.618 would be above here. The only problem for this to be wave 4, not yet, but it's time. So if we are looking for a move down being 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Your wave 4 is starting to be quite long, right, by now. Now wave 2 is a little tricky, right? Do you have a truncated C here, which is very rare, or do we have a flat? I would prefer a flat structure in a way, but WXY. In that case, WXY, let's see. Okay, 1 to 1. 1 second. I'm just counting here, and then we have a W zigzag X zigzag Y flat. Why am I counting an impulse here? 1, 2. Oh, and then you have, of course, 3, 4, 5. Right. So inside wave 2. So this is the longest wave 2 that I can make, but it's very ugly. I mean, a WXY with X so deep and Y, it doesn't make sense. But if we put wave 1 here and then have a truncated C for 2, it's very rare. So it's not ideal. So what I like to do is I prefer to keep an eye on this structure. And for now, I just forget about this structure, right? Makes life a lot easier. Because the new structure here will give us everything we need to know, right? With regards to probabilities. Cheers, Boris, but not yet. It's possible that the low on 5th is wave 3. Yeah. Wave 4, yes. CIS, that is a possibility. That would be what I just explained. And then you have a deeper wave C. So then you have this, but your C is going to be deeper. Tornado warning. Hope you stay safe, Adam. What's up, Hoshi? After diagonal in 1, expanding flat B where we are, and then down in C. Yeah, that's the flat. Yeah, to support. Correct. My blood pressure this morning. I can imagine. I've never actually experienced a tornado, hurricane, that sort of stuff. How do I manage enter, exit? I actually only have one highest probability scenario. But of course, if I see signs against my probabilities, I trade the other way. So Elliott waves, it gives me directional bias, and I also trade Elliott waves, but generally more swingy, and of course well managed. And then on the lower time frames, I use other tools. So of course I have my Elliott wave probabilities. I look for confluences between the different scenarios, but generally you have one high probability scenario, the rest is alternative. And you trade the highest probability until invalidation is hit, and then you trade your alternative, which then becomes your highest probability, right? So in the beginning, especially when learning Elliott waves, you'll have a very cluttery chart probably, and it's difficult with all the scenarios that are out there. But as you gain experience and knowledge, you'll get a much better idea of what is high probability, what is low probability, what's your preferred scenario, what's your alternative, and then you trade preferred until invalidation hit. However, especially on the lower time frames, I like to use more tools to decide an entry and not just Elliott waves. So, and that is everything you see in all my content is everything I use. And I that's why I always say I look for weakness or I look for strength, right? But with Elliott waves, the highest probability based on your own analysis is always the traded one. We love to see one up close, but also fully aware is retarded. How do you get your, I don't know, 50? Well, Atas, I just have my naked point of controls from Atas, 52900. Tick size 50 template is in Discord in the Good to Know channel. Hike. Yoshi, how you doing? Welcome. Okay, I need to scroll. Live in the south of France too, and I cannot see the brain. Yeah, Dumont. Maybe one day we meet. Just popping in. B wave over. We still look for a retracement. Hitting the resistance would be nice, but hey, if we see weakness before that. Mike Freeman. How you doing, man? It's been a while. So Mike actually, was it now? Like last year, visited the Netherlands. I'm Dutch, but I now live in France, south of France. Thanks for your like, man, and saying hi. It's nice to see you, Scroll. Bronze, definitely not. I mean, of course, bronze is support, but I mean, it's, yeah, you know what I mean? People can be member for like a day and then tada, $3, and it's worth more. Like don't forget the CVD template. CVD is publicly available, but what's done to the template with how it works now with all the automated CVD lines and everything that's been done, right? Like how efficient this has become. Of course, we have some freezes still sometimes here, which is but we're working on it, right? And the template works fine. It's just that the cursor sometimes freezes. Like when you talk about an indicator that can significantly help trading, I mean, for me, the CVD is the number one tool, period. The best indicator out there. There is no competition for me. I've always used CVD since pretty much the beginning of my trading. I ditched any other indicator except CVD because it gives me live information. And now with what's been done with CVD, I mean, it's so good with the automated lines and everything. So yeah. So it's if we put a price on it, it's not going to be $3. Like, don't forget that some people have random shit indicators worth hundreds of dollars. Now, don't expect that from me, but just to give you perspective. Of course, many people will just go the free route, but you see, so by the way, there's no will in trading, right? Jack. So we have CVDs. By the way, you were correct because we did get the drop. So hey, hopefully you traded it. But there's no will, right? So when you see a CVD divergence, just like any other tool, right? Use it best in confluence with other tools and the context of what you're looking for. So if I quickly turn this off and I'll use my eyes for you because the divergences only go back in time so far to make the template faster. So when price moved up, first of all, we hit very important support and we immediately got a bullish CVD on both yellow and blue. So what we like to see plays out, right? The moment you get the CVD, boom, push to the upside, nice, plays out, takes out this high. At that moment in time, we gotta wait, right? There's no new CVD here. And then we wait, right? So price is moving up and ta-ta-ta. It's not too interesting, right? Little bit of bearish CVDs here, lower high, higher high, right? But these played out with price moving down, right? And then over here, we create a low, but now we have another bullish CVD, higher low, lower low. So first of all, the two bearish CVDs here played out, the bullish CVD here plays out, and then another bullish CVD here also plays out. We move towards the upside. Very, very nice. And then we have here a lower high on price, higher high on yellow, bearish CVD plays out, price moves down. Higher low on price, lower low CVD, right? So we made a new low, move up, CVD divergence here plays out, we take the high, so that one is neutralized. So now we wait again. Comes back, creates a new bullish CVD, higher low in price, lower low in yellow, plays out again. It's insane. And then, of course, we got to wait again, right? So we wait again. Price moves up and retraces a bit. Some more local bullish CVDs, higher low here, lower low yellow, again plays out. But what you don't want to do, and this is all experience, because CVD is not there's a divergence, so it's an automatic trade. You still got to learn what to trade, what not to trade, when it's best and not, right? It's not that difficult, but it does take time. You got to train your eyes. Because here we have, of course, a bigger move down. So arguably, you're like, well, we move down. I mean, look at the CVD, right? We move down, like CVD just tanks. But as you can see here, the most recent low here, we move up. Price comes down. There's no bullish CVD here, right? Instead, we change market structure, take out this low. We already had a CVD divergence with this low, not interesting. Already had a divergence with this one, not interested. So you want to see something new. So the moment this then happens, you look for something new. So then you forget everything that happened before pretty much. And then you'll be like, okay, now let's see what we get locally again, right? It just depends how you want to use the tool in confluence with the tools, other tools that you use. So you get the move down here, start ranging sideways for a long time. Well, the fact you range sideways here for a longer time and then eventually move back to this range, right? Interesting. You do have, of course, the bigger bullish CVDs, but I always like local. I like the 15-minute, 3-minute. You know, that's the favorite. Christian, this is Christian. I know this logo. He's been here for a long time. Christian, welcome. And thank you for, there you go, the 5 gifts. To the community that received the gifts. Sean, Hottentotten, hey, there you are again. Lucifer, Incestus, what's up? David and Crash Curse. Make sure, guys, chill. Bones, yo, Bones, also here for a long time. And Bones actually got a shirt. Cheers, Christian, man, thanks. Yo, Sean, Hottentotten, Lucifer, David, Crash Curse, Hoshi, Bones, please fill in this form. Select silver instead of bronze because you got a bronze gift, but I'll bump you up to silver. And please, just fill it in, and I'll get you access to silver. Maybe a band-aid. Cheers, man. So he survived the hurricane in Florida, and here he is, like just throwing the monies. Cheers, Christian. Maybe a band-aid. Appreciate it, guys. Okay, let's call because oh boy, am I. Okay, so couldn't I have a question in multi-1 to Elliott short? Can the first two and the second two overlap or almost? Yes, they can overlap. The answer is yes. Solana is the new Ethereum. Possibly. Yeah. ETH fees get too expensive. Yeah. So this is stuff I don't really know too much about, like the fundamental stuff. I just trade the charts, but I feel like if you don't want to support the channel through the exchange to get the CVD, then it should cost you $100 too. Since time is so valuable, is Mr. Koen, Mr. Friend's time any less valuable in my opinion? So many cryptos want everything handed to them on a silver platter. Yeah. What to say? I'm hearing more and more suspicious data about Solana. So much of the volume is allegedly bot fuckery. I hope it doesn't end like Luna. Well, let's hope. Luna was a drama. Okay, time cost, maybe I don't want to go through the process. Exactly. And that's why I also, exactly. So I understand this. And therefore we're going to work on a solution. So I'm already working on it. Interesting. Can I ask when the PDF you showed in the stream the other day will be ready? Jeroen is working on the design, and then I will do all the rules and stuff. So what Jay is talking about, everyone, is, do I have it open somewhere? Let me give you a sneak peek 2.0. Yeah, sneak peek 2.0. I first have to, 1 second, I have to open it again. It's somewhere in my files, but give me a second here. Oh, wait, I can also just show a recent picture. 1 second. Pop. Scroll. Which one am I going to show? So first of all, right, this is a sneak peek. Second, it's not finished. So I haven't checked the rules, guidelines, and everything that's on the sheet yet, right? I gave Jeroen the task of, hey, we wanna do this, and I'll check it and add it, and then we'll work on it. But just to at least give you a sneak peek of how things can look like, it's not finished. We're working on it, right? Is this. Now, of course, I do realize that online here and there are a few that have something similar, right? Now, what is very different here is that we, first of all, include more information, including Fibonacci time. We include star ratings with Fibonacci ratios in what's common and less common. Also, we include some tips and tricks, things like the 886 and the 618 and other stuff, right? So it will be very, very complete with all of my experience in there as well. Now, I just like to highlight again, it's not finished, right? I haven't even read the rules and the guidelines yet. I don't know even if they're correct or not. He is just working on the design, right? At the moment, we are working on the design first. Text and all that stuff will be second. He puts everything in place. Jeroen is also learning Elliott waves himself, and this is a great practice for him to look at all the guidelines and the rules, right, from my content and my videos, and then puts it on the sheet. But I still have to check everything. But this is something that we're working on, and then of course every scenario will have a page, but it is going to be incredibly complete, right? And including also stuff that you won't find anywhere else. So yeah, and you can see Jeroen is doing an awesome job with regards to the template and how he has designed it. Very proud of his work, and yeah, I mean, it's really nice to see as well how Jeroen is improving with his knowledge at the same time. So it's coming, but it will take a while, right? It will take a while, and then of course the next question is how can we best distribute it? So Anthony Gray, locally we are still looking at least for a retracement, and then we observe what happens next. On the 1 hour, use to complete wave 2. That is correct. Pretty sure most of August is going to be bearish. Yeah, generally the summer months, if you would track statistics on months, it's not really something I do, but yeah, generally that's something you'll hear. If we are waiting for the rollback of wave 2, where should we pull the Fib local wave? Oh, that would be from, let me go to a 1 hour. So the reason earlier I pulled my Fib right from the low to the high is to show you, hey, whatever pull you do for whatever diagonal, if your diagonal ends here, we still didn't hit the 302, right? But you can pull your diagonal from there, so to this high, and then you have a flat ABC to start with, and then your fibs are a little bit lower. But by all means, the reason I pull it from the low to the high is just to show that whatever pull you do with this move up, this move down never hit the 382. Yeah. August and September are historically worst months for Bitcoin. I would love to like see data. I never tracked data on what months are up and what months are down, but it would be interesting from a data perspective. Also so BingX and Bybit are KYC, and Blofin and BTCC are non-KYC. So yes, indeed, you don't actually give them any personal data, at least Blofin and BTCC. Except for you just trade, but you don't upload passports and I don't know what. Yo Tim, hoe gaat het man? Moeten we elkaar maar eens even op WhatsApp spreken. Het is hier echt jantje warm man. Het is zo warm hier. 30 graden pretty much elke dag. Ik zweet als een tierlier man. What is for the even if it's the email alone. Yeah, I know. I mean, look, I just try to help the biggest group of people, and but I try to do as much free as I can. And I understand some people don't like to go to an exchange, which is perfectly fine. But then I have to put a price on it, and people say like, "Oh yeah, I just want to pay," and that's perfectly fine. But I'll have to set up that process. So, do you want a bigger C? Do we want a bigger C? Don Ernesto, how you doing? Do you mean to the downside, like here, this one, or you actually mean a new low? Bitcoin is going to dump again. Probabilities are at the moment higher. We are looking still for a retracement, but please check the analysis. Dump is, of course, different for everyone. Is a dump a 4K move down, or are we talking 10K, or, you know? So, are you going to do a tutorial based on swing trading? Good question. The thing is, I can do a tutorial on swing trading, but actually from an Elliott wave point of view, it's very simple because your highest probability scenario is always going to be your trading setup. But I will always use, of course, very historical price action, because I'm I don't do signals. So I would never use the recent price action on the daily. I would go back in time. But yeah, maybe I haven't really considered a tutorial on swing trading, but like I guess the tutorial in a way is actually the setups channel. First link in the description, because let me open this 1 second here. 1 second here. Setups, and then we go to this picture and then open. So for a bit of a swing to the downside, I was looking for a rejection at 69.2, at 71 or 72, or all three. Yeah, I observed the reaction because we were looking for an impulse to end. Right, so this was wave 4 price action, looking for a long in 5, end 5, and then look for a move down. Now we hit the first one here. Now this was more of like a swing, I suppose, setup, which was, by the way, over here, right? And the stop loss was above all-time high, because that's, of course, your invalidation. And then as price moves to the downside, when you're swing trading, it's about observing the reaction every time at support, waiting for a new range to form. So of course you're in the short, right? Price is ranging, and then you have to be able to analyze this range. Are the probabilities higher to go back up or go down, right? And then every range you see, you're analyzing, right? And then eventually we hit very important support. So of course that's a TP area. But anyway, as price was moving down here, we had consistent bearish CVD divergences all the time. Every single bounce that price had to the upside was met with bearish CVD divergences, which means that market longs during this move here were absorbed by limit short options, orders, right? So all the market longs were consistently being absorbed by limit shorts, and that creates the downwards pressure. So of course, swing trading is actually more, maybe we have to change the name to just like swing trade management or something, like swing management, because it's actually more trade management. The more you scalp, right, the more trades you do on the lower time frames, the less, I suppose, trade management becomes a bit of a thing. Of course, you have to manage your trades and put your stop loss quickly break even, but your TPs are very close and it's very low time frame, very short. And on a swing trade high time frame, right, you are observing the reaction because you look for bigger moves. The question is, do you get the bigger moves? But you're observing the ranges and manage your trade accordingly. But it takes a lot of time for price to move generally. So yeah, you know. And yeah, now we're down here. So I guess the setups channel will give some insight into swing trading and why, because that's where I share why a certain setup is interesting from an Elliott wave point of view. So I explain why it's interesting. Yeah, that's the answer pretty much. But a video tutorial, I don't know, maybe. ABC or 1, 2, 3, 4, waiting for 5. There's the potential for a 5, but also a finished structure. The thing is, I don't want to focus on this move anymore. I want to focus on the local price action here. Yeah, so we can count this as a finished impulse. We also can count this as an unfinished impulse. Can we count this as an ABC down? I would need to look on the daily and 4-hour time frame, really, if you can count this as an ABC in context of all the other structures. Unless you have a WX and then a wave Y sharp zigzag, or your bearish scenario would be another ABC, of course, and then up in a bigger WX and Y. But we can't have triangles here. We can't have a flat to the downside here. WXY sideways works, zigzag sideways works, impulse down has lower probabilities. So I would be looking for a WXY with a zigzag in Y or a wave C, and yeah, the longer we range here, the lower the probabilities. This is a wave 4 because of the time, but for now it's possible. Yeah, Mr. Friends is working on it. I sent him a VOD of my my experience on the template here, right? So I already sent it to him, and he's on holiday for 5 days, so you know, we're not gonna bother him, but he knows about it. Yeah. Yeah, the cursor. Thank you, Boris, man. Appreciate it, man. Thanks. Yeah, of course. That's of course. Cheers, Rob. First of all, of course, Blowfin and BTCC are non-KYC, where you don't have to use VPNs. But yeah, I'll make sure to check it. Also, there are a few people that filled in the form and they said Bybit. The problem is that those people registered or filled in the form with old accounts. They didn't register through one of the links in the description or in Discord. They just put the UID of their old account in there, but it doesn't work like that. I can't unless you change or you add the affiliate code to the account or something with creating a new one. But yeah, I need to email some people because you know, it needs to be a new account or an account that changes to the affiliate code. Do you speak Taiwanese? Didn't know you speak Taiwanese. Konnichiwa. Free VPN. 6059 level is gonna drop. Probability is higher to still look for a retracement locally. Make sure to check the analysis. Mohip, welcome. Good to have you here. Where is GFT for? I want gift also. Check out the YouTube community post or in Discord, the Koens Updates channel or Telegram. I wrote it in Telegram as well if you scroll up. SUI is the Solana killer. Enjoy your time in France. Thank you, Mohib. So far, so good. It's very warm though. Caleb. Yo, I was go-karting with Caleb Castro Cabrera. We had a great time. 1 second, I can show you pictures. Give me a second here. One second. Also, Caleb, I forwarded your recent message to Ashley. So, you know, we'll be good. But let me show you, everyone. Oh, I'm opening it in another tab on my. So that's Caleb. That's me without a cap this time. Body protector on, right? And then you have the friends of Caleb, right? So we have Rico over here, right? So great, like both of them, by the way, great guys. Yeah, so we had a very, very good time. And I'm bad with names. Christian, was it? Olivier, and Olivier. So myself, Jacob, Olivier, and Rico, right? And we were go-karting at Speed Kart, which is in Hyères. And eventually, it was quite funny. Eventually, I got third. But yeah, and then I have to look. I'll just show you this picture. I got third in the last race, and I was allowed to drive around with the French flag. It was pretty cool. So you may have seen that picture in the community post section as well. Can I get membership? For that, you need to click the join button below the stream or go to Patreon. You open the description, scroll down a little bit. There's a section somewhere you see membership, and then a YouTube link and a Patreon link. So you can either do Patreon or YouTube. I have to work hard. People want the PDF. Pressure. Yeah, I'm afraid it doesn't work like that. You click as a Hollander. I am a Hollander. Can you quickly show me on the 5 minute if this could be more like a 1-1-2 to the downside or ABC? I don't analyze 5 minutes. It's too. I generally stay away from it. But just FYI, this is very much a three-wave structure to the downside, right? The second leg is quite a lot longer than the first, increasing the probabilities for an ABC to the downside here, being a three-wave structure, which increases probabilities for price to take out the high. And it would be nice to then hit the resistance. So the bearish scenario is a 1-1-2. The bullish scenario is an ABC continuation up. But the bullish scenario has a higher probability taking out the high here compared to the bearish 1-1-2. There you go. But generally, I stay away from low time frames because it changes too much, and it's not really my time frame. J Mac, what's up? So the special sauce will below. So the special sauce will the below text you're showing. Oh yeah. Cheers, Tim, man. I'm happy you guys like the sneak peek. Will it include the percent chance the patterns have of happening? Always fine. If you want exact percentages, because that's too big. It doesn't fit on the paper. So first, I recommend everyone go to Discord, download these two, right? So link is in the description, but you have two files. Mr. Swannell, right? For 10 years with a crazy amount of analysts and data and computer technology and whatnot has analyzed the Elliott wave structures. There is so much data about the patterns here. I would recommend to just check that out. Because you can't say, if you go to a one-pager of an impulse, if you go to the one-pager of this is an impulse, of course. But if you go to the one pager of, let's say, a flat, I can never say that a flat has X probabilities because it depends on where the flat is positioned, right? Is it positioned in a wave 2? Then it has this probabilities. Is it positioned in wave 2 of an uptrend? That probability. In a downtrend, that probability. In a wave 4 uptrend is that. And in a wave X, you know what I mean? So it gets too big. So I recommend people to just go to those PDFs, download them, check them. There's a lot of information in there. Right? Where did you learn Elliott waves? I learned it by myself, using everything I just learned online, or by websites, and I put it in the description. So you have the Elliott waves book. There's an Elliott waves website down below, and the website is really good. Yeah, I will go to the beach. I'll go after the live stream around 6 with Ashley, but first we got stuff to do. Swing trading tutorial would be cool. Yeah, the 382 would be a minimum target. So let's see what index did. What did the index chart do? If we move it all the way to the highest high, we also missed it on index. Interesting. So on Bitstep we may have hit it, but on my chart and index we didn't. And yeah, I mean, look, it is of course possible for price to just fly, but I explained what I'm looking for in the analysis locally towards the end of the analysis around minute 30 into the live stream. So yeah, this is the main area of resistance. And if price does fly, right, I want to see it pause. Ideally, a retest, support, maybe wick the lows, grind to the upside, and then some bullish CVDs, and hops, on we go, right? And we move towards the upside. That's then what I would be looking for. Like same for the other way around, right? Resistance here, I want to see weakness first. I'm a reactive trader. So I want to observe what price does. And based on that information, I can make a good decision. Jen, how you doing? Yo, I emailed you, Jen. Hopefully your question was answered. If not, just send a reply. Do you spot hold Bitcoin? I have some, yes. Of course, some, I suppose, is different for everyone in how much someone holds, yes or no. But yeah, I diversify, you know, and Bitcoin is one of those things. I'm definitely not a maximalist or minimalist. I just diversify and I manage. But as I'm mainly a trader, I don't really care if Bitcoin trades at 100K or 10K. I just trade the volatility. Yeah, but this is the Mediterranean, eh? There's not great like waves here. So it's like small little waves. Did CME touch it? Second equivalent. That's my step. Another video on fib ratio. I feel like I am missing some for fib time. All the fib times are mentioned in this playlist. So you can check if you want to look for wave 2 and 4 fib time, check the first video, for example, right? And also all the other videos have fib time in them. But time, of course, time is always time is never a rule or a hard cut, like high-low probability, or like a rule or a guideline. Shit, Koen. Time is never a rule. It's more like a guideline, right? You want to have a good ratio between the waves. That's important. Ratio analysis, right? And that is where time becomes important. Ratio analysis is mentioned in the book. You have a whole chapter on time in the Elliott Wave International book. And somehow there are some analysts that say time doesn't matter. I don't know. I can't take them serious, mate. Like, what the fuck are we talking about? If you do analysis on a weekly and a daily and a 4-hour and a 1-hour time frame, how can you even say time is not important? You should put all that analysis on one time frame. If you say time is not important, you're literally analyzing on multiple time frames? ? Time is very, very important. Ratio analysis has to do with time. Rule of alternation has to do with time. I think it's chapter 4 in the book is fully focused on time, or chapter 5. And I mention all the fib times in the playlist, but time is always a guideline. It's never a hard like rule. But you can use it for trading. To Monday's low at 49K. I mean, drop back all the way down at the moment, right? Yeah, probabilities would still be higher for retracement, but not yet for price to move all the way down to 49. Important support would be 52.7. If you lose that, it slowly starts to increase. But since March, everybody is doomed. The leading diagonal, yeah, I know what you mean. But that would be an expanding diagonal. Yeah, you want to make use of it. I do, now that I live in the south of France, I do know, like, like it's nice to have the ocean. In the Netherlands, I didn't live around the corner of the ocean, but yeah. Bram Bussard, Nederlander. Vierde video die ik van je zie. Mooie inhoud. Mijn aandacht heb je. Keep it up. Cheers, Bram. Welkom bij het kanaal. En waardeer je comment. Thanks for popping in and leaving a comment as well. Bram here is here for the fourth time. Enjoys the content. And I have his attention, he says. Yo, cheers, Bram. Bram. And then appreciate it, man. Comment was for the sneaker. Oh, I see. I'll give 50 subs for that level of cheat sheet. Mate, what? Maybe a Band-Aid Joe. You see that wrench behind your name. What are you talking about? The water is too hot now. No, it's still nice to cool down. It's not cold. Also, I don't really like too cold water. It's just like I get in the water very slowly. And then eventually you just have to plunge, right? Yeah. But I do like swimming in the ocean. What do you think of ETH? It's going to be an altcoin stream. Actually, tomorrow we're going to do the ETH and Bitcoin stream or Bitcoin channel together in one stream. So the ETH chart and the Bitcoin chart together in one stream, because ETH doesn't look as great. Bitcoin still looks perfectly fine, but Ethereum on a weekly time frame is not really looking great. How do you decide on the size of your target boxes? That depends on my confluence areas. So I have a video where I explain this in detail, just for your information, which is this one here, the easiest way to trade, less is more, right? That's the video about target boxes. And how I decide on them depends on the confluences in that area. And again, for me, less is more. In the past, like, there's no joke. What you see here in the beginning of this video, you can see this, right? This is if I turned everything on in the past, back in the day. I used an old chart, turned everything on as an example. Like, you can't, let me click this, just so I enlarge it, because people are watching on their phones and stuff, they won't be able to see it. So back in the day, I used so many tools, and if I would turn everything on, and I'm not kidding, everything on here, all of this. What are you going to trade? So first of all, look, I literally went through all the 6 steps I always talk about in my content, right? There's 6 steps. If you want to have great probabilities of being a profitable trader, follow 6 steps. And one is try as many free tools as you can, which is clearly what I did because I put them all on my chart. Step 2 is select your favorite tools and then build statistics. And that's eventually what I've done. Like, I selected my favorite tools, right? And I started to scale down on what I'm using. So now I use less tools, but I use the tools that I find interesting, which are my horizontal levels, volume profile, order blocks, sometimes support resistance, Fibonacci, right? And based on this, I get areas on the chart, right? And the areas of interest will become target boxes, right? Seems like my short 5-minute probabilities are actually about to play out here. 58.5 high. Gonna hit the resistance. That's gonna be interesting though. I gotta say that, of course, if we are looking for a move 335, we want to have a 3-wave structure here, but it becomes a little bit of a challenge. Preferably we wanted a deeper move down before up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Could be another shallow too, but then you wanna just pump, right? Interesting price action. So let's see, take a fib. Let's see if we do this. Then we already hit it, and if we do this, we are hitting it now. The moment you hit the 1.618, probabilities decrease for a flat and increase for a move up. Interesting. Of course, the both of the scenarios, I mean, probability is higher to move up, but preferably you actually hit the fibs down here. And if you don't, I'm perfectly fine. Just make sure to have a plan for an entry. But if we are looking for a flat in an A, B, C, wave B has to be a 3-wave structure. But at the moment, it's a little bit of a steep move. So it needs to be WX and then a Y. I'm very curious to see what price does here. Volume. Locally, volume is increasing. Did we take the low? Yeah, we took the low. Okay, there you go. So the 5-minute probabilities played out. Yeah, of course you can have a finish flat and 2 or B is in and you look for continuation to the upside. You didn't hit the 302, so that's the thing, which is of course rare. What's up, Bilyamin? Welcome. Bitcoin can dump again. Can always dump. From a probabilities perspective, a move down still, right, towards mid low 50s would be nicer from an Elliott wave point of view for a 2 or a B, because we didn't hit the 382. Check the. So if you have no idea what I talk about, please check the analysis, because we didn't actually hit the fibs, but we first want to observe the reaction at resistance. Looks like cat jars. Picasso. I'm going to Germany to sign distribution. I don't know what should I bring for present. What Germany people like for present? To all the Germans. What do Germans like as a present? Right? So you going to Germany to sign a deal or something here? Beer and sausage. I mean, beer is always a good one, I suppose. What else? Are there other Germans here? Is there a typical... I guess actually, if you want to give a present, take a present with you from your own country. I think that's the most unique. Of course, you can... Porsche. Yeah, it's a nice car though. Pretzels. I would probably recommend to get something from your country because that's very unique, right? It's from your place. But hey, you know, the tummy always works. Plenty of good beer, schnitzel. Yeah, not surprised by the answers. Yeah. So generally, when I would go to another country and I bring a present for someone, I preferably bring presents from my country. It's a bit more unique. It's like bringing sushi to Japan. Yeah. What are the chances Bitcoin will move to 60K and what time frame are we looking at? 15-minute, 1-hour time frame. 62K would be an ABC or a 112. For a 112, you need a big impulse up, right? So in that case, for higher than 62, you look for 1, 2, 1, 2, big wave 3. 62K should be absolutely peanuts, right? So you want to pass resistance, move and then fly, right? Preferably. And ABC would be A, B. Counting this as a finished C would be difficult. You would then need to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 now. Besides, I don't really like the ABC. I preferably then still look for flat. So bullish scenario would be 112. Your bearish scenario would be a flat before another leg up at the moment. You want proof of support. So yeah, for me it's quite simple, right? I want to observe what price does here. I check the reaction, wait a couple of hours, see what price does, look for the confluences I enjoy, and if I see what I want to see, I'll go short or long. Interesting short area. But if we move above this area here, close some candles, look for retest, look for support, maybe wick, grind up, bullish CVDs, up. Interesting. It was piss water. Yeah, don't, maybe something else. Just something typical Japanese or wherever you're from, right? Mercedes Maybach. Yeah, that's a nice present. When I travel abroad, people are most pleased with Belgian chocolates. Chocolate always does well, eh? Yeah. I mean, if in the Netherlands, you should take stroopwafels. Right? Also always a good present. Just a bunch of Dutch stuff, like some stroopwafels, maybe some cheese. Hagelslag is a fun one as well, right? Chocolate, what's that? What's hagelslag in English? Chocolate sprinkles. No? Yeah, it's good stuff. $4.20. And of course, if you're in the Netherlands, I mean, look, that's the thing. The 420 hint, like if you're in the Netherlands, you can do the 420. But if you travel with an airplane across the border, you want to watch out with your 420. You know? Because the moment you take your 420 into an airplane and your ass gets caught, you got a problem. So, nice present. End up in jail. What did you do? Yeah, I brought some 420 with me. Yeah. Oops. After the retest in resistance, the most preferable thing is to wait for 53.52. That would be the highest probability scenario, yes. But while we are here live, preferably what I would wanted to see was actually a bit of a deeper move. The fact that it's so shallow, I would like to hit this resistance. So the thing is, you want to have a three wave, A, B, C. Is this highest probability? Yes, because you didn't touch D3A2 down here. But this is very shallow retracement. This is also incredibly shallow. And if we are looking for a flat, you want a three wave A, three wave B, five wave C. So this has to be a three wave structure, right? And for this to be a better three wave structure, I actually wanted to see a deeper retracement and then a move up. All right, so you turn 1, 2, and then you do this. All right, so now if this is your low, we hit the 0.618. We have the 1 to the 1.236 above us. But actually, I wanted to see price move down a bit further so that your common target for a three wave, wave C, wave Y, 1 to the 1.236 is in the box. Now it's above the box, pretty much. So, I'm careful. Of course, this bullish CVD now also played out, like bearish CVD here, invalidated, more bullish CVDs that played out as well. So, of course, we have been grinding up with consistent bullish CVDs, so you have to be aware of continuation. But then I simply want to look for price to take out this box. Yeah, it took the high on Coinbase. If it didn't on all exchanges, probabilities are high. It will still move up on the others. Stroopwafels to France for in de koekjestrommel. Actually, I did receive stroopwafels as a present before we left to France. So I'm not sure if we still have, actually. My country thinks, K-pop. What is 420? That's 420. Smoking weed. You should Google 420. Yeah, we start to push now. So that's my alarm because we now hit the box. But I'm not interested, right? For any shorts unless I see significant weakness. And I just explained it's not as deep as I would have liked to. So let's see what we get here. We are now at the daily naked point of control. Most bullish scenario is a double 1-2, but then this should be peanuts. Your Bearish scenario would be a flat. All about observing the reaction. But I do have to, I'm actually already live for longer than I wanted, so I do have to move. Yeah, it's about patience. It will give us opportunities, of course. Yeah, I mean, it's quite common. Of course, for a wave 2, most common target remains the 05786. So it is common for that to hit 382 possible, but it's just shallower is generally very rare. Yeah. Only shallow retracements before a push, possibly. But look, when you want to enter into positions, first of all, we're at resistance, and I already explained, like, if we can pass this resistance here, right, it would be nice to see maybe weekly. All right, bullish CVDs continuing to build. So if we do start to grind against resistance, I want to see continuous bullish CVDs building, and then I'm interested in potentially looking for a continuation. So even if you do get very shallow retracements in a 112, it's no problem, right? You just got to make sure you know what you're looking at to eventually enter. The 618, oh, did we finally hit it? Oh yeah, 58 was it? Of course, 60K is the other one, but this. No, we didn't. Not yet. Almost though. And 60K is the even more safer option from this high. Red light district. A live trade would be nice, but I'd never. It's personal information, so I never actually put live trades on. I have my trading window open on my other screen, but this is diamond stuff. If I like talking about exactly why I enter, how I enter, what the plan is on how I execute, or it's diamond stuff. Since 1 a.m. last night, didn't talk for it too. Yep. Of course, if you have a flat in an A, B, C, this is absolutely normal, right? But then you want to see a C down. And if you do get continuation, you have more confirmation, increasing your probabilities and your win rate of a profitable trade. If you do pass the resistance, hit the 1.618. So I don't care about. So by the way, do you hold Bitcoin already, or wait until yes, I answered the question earlier about spot. So yeah, I do. This is from the past. So of course we have flat opportunity here, right? A, B, resistance, C to the downside, right? Then look for support here and another move up. At the moment, looking for this low is not the highest probability scenario on the 50-minute time frame. Ali, well, maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. But for me, my point of controls work very nicely, so I don't really feel like changing it. But so in that case, please try it yourself. For me it works, and I don't want to mess around with my templates. Dejan, welcome. Dejan. We currently hit the daily naked point of control. Shrooms became illegal. They make truffles. We smart. Patrick. Oh, I see. Yo, Petty. Nice one. Cheers. I'll we'll get you sorted. Zone is also the 4-hour trend line. Yeah, there's a few confluences here. So interesting. How do I get the CVD template? Check out the community post on YouTube on my main channel. So go to the homepage and check community. Go to Discord and go to the Koens updates channel, right? Where the recent post is as well. And besides what I write here, right? Not that one. Holy moly, why am I so high? Here, there we go. So besides what I write here, we also have some like a solution coming for people that prefer to just pay for it instead of it being free. It's also possible, but we're working on that. Are you looking to short if there's a rejection from this level? Yes. But before I short, it usually takes an hour or longer before I consider a position after it hits, because I need to see like rejection, weakness. And if we move above the box and can retest it, that's when I look for signs of strength to continue to the upside, and then I'll be long with a new local trade at least. But yo, Patrick, cheers. Welcome, and we'll get you sorted soon. Fad, how you doing? Nice to see you. Welcome. It's nice to also, like, of course, the more like the channel every day, the channel grows older, of course. But it's nice. Sometimes people from back in the day pop in, say hi, you know. But yo, Fad, how you doing? Good to have you. I was in Amsterdam for my birthday. Also visited Rotterdam, The Hague. Amsterdam is a different world. Amsterdam is nice, busy, nice, touristic, but still nice. Yeah. I like Amsterdam. Quite a lot to do, but not really, like for tourism. It's nice to live in Amsterdam. Preferably live outside of Amsterdam. Yo, Flotty, how you doing, man? Have a look at Elliott with gold. A 112 question mark. Yo, WXY. Yeah, I actually covered this on the live stream. Why is it opening in this browser? So I actually covered this scenario in the live stream, WXYBC. The thing is that I preferably for X, or if you want to count as a 535, preferably, of course, we actually wanted to see a bit of a deeper retracement. It's very shallow. It's very shallow. So yeah, we know the resistance above us, but it's still a very shallow retracement. Yeah. But yeah, I covered it on the stream as well. It's a good idea. 13K, yeah, I know. Like, it's insane. Like, on the 20th of February, 2023, the channel started, right? So that is one and a half years ago, no? And I just, look, it's I guess very, very typical story, but I just made some videos, and I did have a bit of a plan on how I wanted to approach making the videos and the content, and hopefully people enjoy it. But now we're here, right? 10K was a big number, and now 13, and it just keeps going up every day. I don't know. It's awesome. Awesome to see. Thanks, everyone. But yeah, of course, Flotty, bullish scenario is 112, continuing 3. Bearish scenario would be WXY, down for C, continuation. Depends on the reaction here, yeah. Bullish CVD on the 3-minute time frame. That is true. I mean, it already played out now. You took the high. So this one here. So the bullish CVD played out while at resistance, right? Interesting. Could you play a theoretical short? What you are looking for? I look, if people are in diamond, I'm happy to explain my whole strategy, but I can't do that on a public live stream, right? I generally, in general terms, explain what I'm looking for, but diamond is creating a plan, and that's where I talk about my plan. But of course, generally, if I want to go short here, right, I need to see weakness, meaning price needs to start ranging, rejecting, ranging, right? I make use of all my tools, which include CVD, market structure, Elliott waves, right? Volume profile, and then I make a decision. But in the end, I need to see weakness and a range, and at the moment we're moving up locally on an increased amount of volume, and 3-minute bullish CVDs against resistance. I mean, there's no reason for me here to go in a short, right? And if we pass this resistance and we move up and we retrace, retest, range, and we see some nice bullish CVDs, and then yeah, I mean, and other stuff in my plan, then I'll look for a long. So that's the general, I suppose, way how I approach my trading, but I'm not interested in shorting only because I have a box here, right? I want to see weakness. I want to see price moving down, ranging. At the moment, everything is looking for a long. No, because we're at resistance, right? This is not the moment for a long, right? We hit support here, including bullish CVDs here. That's a long. We grind it to the upside with consistent bullish CVDs. This is long, 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 right? We move down and we move up here, right? Of course, you had more bullish CVDs here, but now you're at resistance. I mean, I never go long at resistance, right? So if price can break resistance and then retest, right, and do this, and we see signs of strength, right, CVD, other tools you like to use, then I go long. As long as we are ranging against resistance here, I'm not interested for long, right? So I want to see price range against it, right, eventually move up, and I want to see continuous CVDs to support that narrative, right, for a new position, not an existing position. So for a new position, I got no interest to long until we start ranging here and I see some more signs of strength and resistance breaks. And for a short, I want to see weakness, but it takes a while. It takes a while. So for weakness to show, I need to see a rejection, need to see a range, need to see bearish CVDs, maybe market structure change, and it builds up in probabilities of, okay, now I take it. So I might not take. So another thing for me is you'll rarely ever see me snipe a high or low. I try to take the middle of a trade. I don't care about not going long, for example, if we do move up, and I don't care about not entering here. I happily enter higher. I just trade probabilities. Huh? But now we're at resistance. Yeah. The coordinates of the box, 60K to where we are now, 58.9. So I pretty much answered this question. How I manage my stop is, I mean, for a short, of course, in that case, I will put my stop somewhere above the box, right? And then I look for price to, first of all, weakness. I just explained some of the stuff I am interested in. And then if I enter, right, I have my target, I have a stop loss. Now it should be a good RR trade, right? So minimum would be 1 to 2, 1 to 3, 1 to 4, 1 to 5. And manage my stop loss would be as price starts to move in my direction, right? I eventually move my stop loss break even, depending on the structures we then get. Is it possible that wave 1 is not fit and we reach 59,200? The contracting diagonal pattern is not yet broken, and hence I'm wondering. In that case, the result would be the same. But yes, there is a... but then you need a 1 here, 2, WXY, 3, 4, and this has to be your 5. So then you have this 1, this is your 2. But this is an expanding diagonal. And an expanding diagonal is very rare, never preferred, unless all the other structures fail. So still being in a diagonal is not great probabilities, because you would then count 1, 2, WXY in 3, 4, and then a 5, right? But it's expanding structures are always rare. Yo, Anselm. Yeah, so I actually lived in Amsterdam for 2018 till 24 years. And wait, I think even longer, 4 or 5 years. But I mean, it's okay. I was there for studies, and eventually that's where my entrepreneurial journey started, really. But I mean, it's okay, but it's just a lot of people. I eventually moved to Gouda, where it's more green, more nature, it's more calm, and that's more my vibe. But everyone has their different preferences. But it's nice you lived in Amsterdam for 10 years. What I do like about Amsterdam is there's many events, there's many activities, there's always something going on. It's a beautiful city. So at the moment, okay, great system. If I should be a 5, yes. Preferably, yes, if you do move down. So you also want to actually see bearish CVD. Based on recent events, Hoshi 54, 50K. The question can always be answered with yes. So can we go to 100K? Yes. Can we go to 20K? Yes. Can we go to 500K? Yes. The question can is not a question about probabilities. It's not a trading related question. Can price go to XYZ? The answer is always going to be yes. There's always a probability because you can't give it 0. And the moment you can give it 1 probability or 1%, the answer is yes. Now your question is about, are the probabilities higher for price to move to 54, 50K? Now that's a different way of actually answering the question, but that is what you're looking for. And that is a correct question. Because in trading, you trade probabilities, right? You don't trade, what's that? I wanted to say securities, but of course that's wrong. Zekerheden. 1 second, I need to translate. What's that word that I'm looking for? Certainties. So in trading, there's no certainty, only probability, right? Are there probabilities for 54.50? Yes. What do we want to see? A rejection at resistance here, this blue box, 60K, 58.9K. We want to see a 3-wave structure up, a little bit tricky, as I explained here. Currently, there's no weakness to be seen. There's no rejection. There's no market structure change. There's no bearish CVDs. There's nothing. But are there probabilities? Yes. All the people smoke. Is that an assumption? It is, because I don't smoke. All my friends don't smoke. But it's the country of the weed, no? So Maurits, from my experience, gold diamond is worth every penny. Same amount of value for free, but with membership you join like a minded community. Thanks, Maurits. And nice to have you there as well. And sharing and engaging in gold and diamond as well is very important. In the end, that is where you learn the most, and you can build your plan. Of course, diamond is very much focused on building a plan and statistics, and gold is very much about feedback, Elliott waves, the private community there, improvement of Elliott wave knowledge. Patience is better than FOMO. Yes. Do you also watch RSI? No. Overbought. So actually, the reason I don't use RSI is CVD is better, first of all, for my way of trading. And second, RSI is an indicator where, yes, you can see the divergence between a wave 3 and a wave 5, right? That's what you're looking for in Elliott waves. RSI divergence in 3-5. The problem is, if you have a multi 1-2, you're going to look for a multi 4-5, and your first RSI divergence is too early. So and I have a great example. If you go to RSI on a daily time frame or 4-hour, 12-hour, doesn't matter. In this move up, this bull market so far, your first bearish RSI divergence was at 34K. Yeah, the multi 1-2 at the start to begin with, you get into wave 4-5 territory, you start to see RSI divergences at 34K. Look at where we are now. So CVD instead, CVD was showing bullish. Right? The CVD divergences were constantly bullish here. RSI was constantly bearish here. Well, I mean, it's just an example. Of course, RSI is a great tool in people that actually make a whole plan around it. But that is just an example of, RSI is nice, but, not for me. I like CVD a lot more. CVD gives me what's happening now. It shows me absorption, which is live market action. RSI is commonly used with Elliott waves, but I am one of the few, I suppose, that actually doesn't use RSI at all, because I love CVD a lot more. And for me, CVD is a lot more effective in combination with Elliott waves than any other tool. CVD gives me a much better return of investment than any other indicator. So you got to know that if you see a RSI divergence here, which you do at 34K, you have to realize that you are in a multi 1-2 and that this is the first 4-5 of multiple 4-5s. But if you only trade RSI divergences, you're literally going short here all the time, and you miss the whole thing. So yeah, probably here you had the RSI divergence to go bullish, so I guess. But just for the bearish one, not great. But RSI is a great tool, don't understand me wrong. RSI, MACD, money flow indicator, it's all awesome tools, right? But you got to know how to use them. You can't just look at RSI and be like, oh, we have a divergence, so I'll trade it. You need bigger context. But RSI is great, right? And I bet other tools are great as well, but they're not for me. For me, by far, the best indicator tool out there is CVD. There's no tool that comes close. So yeah. Do you ever go to the Grasshopper Cafe in Dam Square? I haven't been there, and of course now I live in France, so a little bit difficult to quickly go there. They sell green by the ice cream tub. Oh, seems like you had a nice experience there, T. Clepson. Nice that you popped in as well, by the way. Yo, Yuri. Oh, you watched the beginning of the stream. Yeah, good job, man. Good job. Wait, I didn't see the. What kind of trade was it? 1 second here. So Yuri made a trade with Elliott waves as he is learning, and he made profit $900. Wait, on Bitcoin. What's this time frame though? 10 minutes. And I think, oh yeah. If you're holding, you're doing very well, by the way. So he sold 50%, which was $900 profit. I hope you're good, man. I hope you're still in there, and if not, right, like you got profit, enjoy the day, right? A little bit every day. How can I find out the point of controls in a range? In a sideways ranging structure, the point of controls can be found using the fixed range volume profile tool. So, right, we have a range here, no? So then you pull the volume profile. So I would now pull it from this order block here because of price being at the same level. So from the low here to where we are now, right? Point of control, 54.8. You can also, depends on how people use it, but take it from the low to where we are now. So the current volume profile of the uptrend locally, right? Gives the same point of control though. And if price would move up here and then move down, right? And then starts to create a very big range here, you can also separate, make a volume profile of this range and the volume profile of this range. You can take two. What I tend to do, of course, as well is if we do this and then this, and if we then do this and we start ranging here, right? I take a new volume profile only of this bit. And you can take one of the whole uptrend, right? So, yeah. That was for a wave 4. The invalidation of a wave 4 is at 59.2. To be more safe, you can say 60K. Right, that's one's even more important. But the moment you hit, let's say 60, right, that's the safest. The wave 4 is invalidated. and therefore you're going to be looking for a finished structure at the low, which then either transfers in a wave C at the low or an A of a bigger zigzag. But we'll get to that later if we actually do still move up a little bit further. So you don't go lower than the 15 minutes. No, not really. Market structure shifts for me is like 15. But of course, when you asked me the question earlier on the 5 minute, right? Could I analyze, and price was here? No, you asked me, can you analyze this structure? Do we have a double 1-2 down or up? Well, at that moment in time, I can analyze it, right? The probability is played out because I said, well, we have either an ABC down here or a double 1-2, 1-2, 1-2 down in 3, or ABC, and we move up. But because this second leg is longer than the first one by quite a bit, the probabilities are higher. You're looking for an ABC here compared to a double 1-2. Probability is higher to take the high, right? This was a 4:15. So an hour ago, I answered that question, and now we're at resistance. So the probabilities played out. For the people that weren't there, feel free to go to about an hour ago, right? 55 minutes to an hour ago, you'll see me answering the question of Yannis. And now we moved up, we hit the resistance. So it's not that I cannot analyze those time frames and probably trade it as well. It's just that for me, it's too low time frame. I don't like to trade it. And I like to go down to the 15 max with Elliott waves. Yeah. WXY, YMCA. Before the target is hit, which turns out to be a bad trade. Thank you for your idea. I usually place the limit order before the target is hit. I don't know what you mean. Which turns out to be a bad trade. Yeah, so if you identify your area of support or resistance, right, then you can of course put a limit order before the area of support resistance. But if you analyze, this is my area of resistance, why put the limit before? Because maybe you're afraid that price is not going to hit it, but you also want to trust your analysis, right? And I'm happy to share my counts and stuff, man, and share the info. It's a pleasure. But yeah. Stick to your plan. If you identify resistance or support, right, that's your area of interest. So in my case, as long as this box isn't hit, I'm not interested in shorts. Now that price hit the box, I can observe the reaction. But for me, it usually takes a few hours before I go into any position. So I'm not yet interested. No wave 4, no wave 5. To the downside, yeah. Could be reject from 64K and go towards 43 from 70 to 49A. Now we're in a wave A has to be, Gabriel, you mean a WXY? Because wave A from 70 to 49. Oh no, you mean, okay, yes, that is a WXY. You're talking about wave Y. Gabriel always gives me puzzles. So you're talking about wave Y, yes. In that case, that would be your bearish scenario, which still results in bullish price action, of course. Yeah. If we move to 60K, then the probabilities, a wave 4 is invalidated for this to be a wave 4 and a 5 down. And then you're going to be looking for price to move up higher. And then your bearish scenario is what Gabriel says. Maybe even a bit higher, but yes, you look for a zigzag down, ABC. And bullish scenario will be continuation. But that's something that I'll cover in the content when we actually hit 60. How high do you rate the probability that we do not get a wave 2 retracement to at least a 382? I mean, it's always low. It's just the way it is with Elliott waves. And if we do continue up, then yeah, perfectly fine. I'll join if price can pass the resistance for a new position. That is right. But from a probability perspective, a wave 2 not going to the 382 is always low. What level do we need to break to be bullish? 60K. We are also not far above the 200 moving average and 165 if we get rejected there. 65, yeah, interesting. I don't know, what do I have there? So, I mean, I gotta then look for my resistances higher, of course. We do have some resistances here that I don't have on my chart. I would need to put them on. Do I have anything? Okay, daily, weekly naked point of control. Why don't I have a target box here? The weekly naked point of control is important resistance. And we have a monthly naked point of control as well. So these two areas, this one here. I do want to use, I don't want to just put one box on the chart. I'm going to have two small ones. I'm not too interested in the daily naked point of control. It's very solo. Oh, trend based. Mate, it's lagging a little bit. Maybe it's I'm live. I have a lot of data on the screen and I'm on Wi-Fi. Let's get all the fibs on here. Golden pocket 786 in confluence here with 65. Golden pocket with the daily naked point of control, but it's you always get a bit of a reaction there. But I'll put my stuff on the chart. Okay, whew, there we go again. Oh wait, now I have a double target box here. So I already had one here. Let me remove it. Cool. I do have a new one. Pop. By the way, we have a new member. Whoa, sorry, I forgot. I didn't see it. Joe Bennett, just in time as well before it disappeared. Joe, yo, sorry for checking it so late. Just now I was talking to chat and I was focused here, so I didn't see the notification. But yo, Joe, welcome to the club, man. Welcome to Diamond. Send me an email. No, wait. Fill in the form. Sending the email is the old system. Fill in the form that probably someone. Yeah, and else John maybe have already. Maybe he did it already. Let me check. We have no. He didn't do it yet. So John. Joe still has to do it, but yo, Joe, welcome, and yeah, make sure to fill in the form so we can get you sorted, so we get the info we need to get you in, and welcome to the absolute top step of the channel, man. Great to see you join. Appreciate it. Also during a live, doesn't happen too often with the diamonds during lives. Appreciate it. What does GP? GP is golden pocket. That's the 61866. After I come back, bro, my vacation with family, I will PM you about my strategies and tools that I use. If you can help to make some plan, if it's possible, to give me some advice. Of course. You're in Diamond, right, Boris? So that's what Diamond is about. Just like it's about building a plan, helping you guys to build a plan, build a strat, track statistics, right? Put in the work to become a consistently profitable trader. What is the signal to use to sell? Well, I don't have as a particular signal. It's a combination of tools that I use, and once they align and I can check my boxes, my rules, I enter. But my main, no, it's not my. What I really like to use is, again, it's CVD for me is the best indicator out there. So of course I like to use CVD. That's one of the things. Yeah. Which at the moment is just chilling. It's actually showing more bullish. Yo, John, welcome back. Anchored VWAP as well. Is yeah, the 382 on the 1 hour. Well, I never say the bottom is not in, but the probabilities would be higher to hit at least a 382. Probabilities that it hit, but not perfectly. So on Elliott Wave International, right? And in general, if you study Elliott waves, you will find that the highest probability for a wave 2 is the golden pocket. And then after that come the 0.5 and the 382 after. The 236 is not even mentioned as a target. So in other words, if you do not hit the 382, it's just very rare. So it's just probabilities. But of course, now we are at resistance, and now it's interesting to look at the reaction for a potential trade to the downside, which is not yet interesting. And if we do move up, then I also have a plan for a move up and trade long, right? I already have my plans. I already have exactly what I'm looking for, but it takes hours. Yeah, at the moment there's no signs of weakness, right? We have bullish CVDs again here. It's interestingly not on the chart, maybe 3 minutes. Yeah. So we are at resistance, but bullish CVDs here. So yeah. Has the flat target hit? Yeah, we are now in the flat target area, but we need to see weakness, right? There's no weakness. Patience. Trading is a lot more psychology. Most people fail because of psychology, not because of their plan. No way this works now. Never say never, but there's no weakness. Right, guys? So there's no weakness, so there's no interest. What's up, Darpan? Great to hear, Arsom. Yeah. You know, I don't care about the like FOMO and stuff already. I lost that a long time ago. But no. You can go to Diamond and be a member in Diamond, and then I'm happy to share everything in a lot of detail. You know. But yeah. In Diamond I explain everything in detail. Right? So that's how it works. CVD is a good signal. CVD is a great tool. Yes, I like CVD. 1212, yeah. Then this would be another 1-2, maybe another one, but you want to see continuation. Oh, you mean the comments? No way this works. Oh, I'm not sure. My patience is killing me sometimes. Yeah, it's difficult to be patient. People tend to, of course, also FOMO in positions. They feel like missing out, and you know, like, but there's a new potential setup every day or every few days, depends on your plan. And if you miss one setup, there's always going to be a next opportunity, right? And it's difficult for people to miss something or to have a plan. So I have a plan. If price has resistance here, I have a plan. If price is going to pass this resistance, I have a plan. I know exactly what I am looking for. You know, I'm prepared, and the preparation avoids the FOMO and you know, all that stuff. So it's the preparation I do at the beginning of my day. I prepare. I look at the chart. I put the setups on the chart that I find interesting based on my Elliott wave analysis. I put alarms. I wait. I observe. And if I see what I want to see, I trade. And if I don't, I don't. Yeah. That would be financial advice. Yeah, I can explain, of course, in full detail in Diamond how I trade, how my strategy works, which I do, by the way. But it's just I never do signals. So because I believe in teaching people how to fish, and I don't believe in giving people fish, right? Teach someone how to fish and they can feed themselves for the rest of their life. That's most important. Nils, welcome to Diamond. Welcome to the team, man. Make sure to fill in the form, by the way. Not sure if so the form that we are talking about, maybe a Band-Aid or someone has it real quick. It's also in the description of every level, but I can quickly get it unless one of the mods is quicker than myself. So Nils, make sure to fill in this form, and we're gonna sort you out. But welcome to the team, man. Welcome to the team, and good times, good times. So make sure to fill it in, and then later today I'll get you sorted. Welcome to the top steps here. It helps so much to see your calm attitude. I'm definitely considering that you join. Yeah, feel free to join. But yeah, I'm happy I can help people also just being live. Bitcoin conference went up and trapped the bulls. We're also at 450 MA, rush earlier. Of course, that's also a lot of fundamentals, which I'm not really familiar with. How to find the daily naked point of control? ATAS. I use ATAS for my daily naked point of controls, and the templates are in Discord, in the good to know channel. So if you go to Discord, and you go to the good to know channel, right? Then we scroll down, and then here's the template, right? Including how to get it. Are we flipping? Not yet. We're just at resistance now. What is your last month win rate? I need to check that in my in my statistics. But with Elliott waves, I don't tend to track my data because I don't really find it important. Elliott waves is more often swing trading. I mostly use it for my day trading, but generally my win rate in the first half year is between 60 and 70%. More around 60, 65. Some months are better than others, but generally generally it's around. But that is with also the other strat, by the way. My Elliott wave win rate is higher. So in Elliott waves, also I'm swinging, but my win rate in Elliott waves is higher than 60. And also I now, very soon at least, post a video in Diamond of an improvement of my current strat. So I guess on average 60, 70. Of course, you have many people that believe in journaling every trade, but I mean, it's just a lot of work, so I don't journal everything. Especially trading Elliott waves itself, because I know how to trade Elliott waves. You know, I know how to trade my probabilities. But I do like, if I build a strategy based on statistics, that's when I like to track the results, because the results tell me if I need to change something. But Elliott waves by itself is already a strategy which I have mastered. So I don't really track data on my trades there. I just trade and be happy. Since I watch you, I've been a lot more careful and patient before entering a trade. That often saved my ass. Well, we like to hear that. Yeah, with patience. And have a plan. So again, in the morning I wake up and I have my plan, and then I just wait, look for price to see what it does. Diversify, yes. Do you do stocks? Some, but I'm mainly just like bigger ETFs. And I do know about the 100 minus age rule, right? In bonds versus stocks and stuff. But yeah, there's some, but if you would do signals, then that is true. Yeah, I also don't like, as mentioned, giving signals. I think people should learn themselves. You know, I put years of effort into honing this skill. Right, like if you want to be consistently profitable, you got to go through the same. And if you don't have the dedication or the passion to spend years of your life to become a profitable trader, you shouldn't be here. You should get out, right? Because if you are going to rely on other people to be profitable, you will never, ever be profitable, period. 100%. Never. Because even if you give a signal, I know how to manage my position. I know how to control my emotion. I know where to TP. I know, because I have developed a plan. I have developed the tools, or I use the tools, and I have controlled my emotion. I've worked on all of that. So even if you give that sort of stuff, people will still fuck up because they can't control their emotions. They have no idea what the plan is. That like they don't know what counter signals are to get out, right? like they're still going to mess up, and then in the end they're going to say, oh, you made a mistake, and I'm like, oh, well, actually not, because I got out at break even. The fact you got a loss is your problem, right? It's not my problem. So yeah, in the end, I never ever gave signals in the past, and I'll never do that in the future. If you don't have the motivation to trade for yourself, then just stop. You don't belong in this industry. If you want to be a consistently profitable trader, you gotta follow 6 steps, and it's gonna take you many months, if not years. And if you don't want to do that, then just save your money, put it somewhere else, but not in your trading account, because you're gonna lose it. So there's no place for that type of stuff, in my opinion. Yeah. Yes, termination channel and the base channel. Well, the termination channel, of course, is after your wave 5, and then the base already plays out when you come back for 4 and move up for 5. That's, of course, when your base channel is finished, right? Like that's your final thing. But yeah, I mean, it is an interesting area. Rob, always a pleasure. Your CVD chart, I noticed that's not on TradingView. No, it's AGGR. It's another website. More info in my AGGR video, but also that's not this one. Go to the channel. There's an AGGR. This is another video I opened during the chatting and Q&A. But yeah, you'll find it in Discord. Good to know channel. Filled in everything. Perfect, Niels. I will add you later because it's so warm. I'm going to dip in the ocean first, yo. What's up, Panda Wave? How you doing, man? How you doing? Very high confidence? Correct. Probability, the low is in now. If you hit 60K, high to see a bigger move to the upside. 64 is interesting, 65 interesting. And potential, that is your important area on the chart for another low or all-time high. But at the moment, we are moving in resistance with bullish CVD divergences, right? So this one here, we have a local uptrend. Bullish CVD is more important than bearish CVD. There's no bearish structure to the downside. Still higher highs, higher lows. Bearish CVD, not important. Bullish CVD, important, right? So very, very interesting. Very interesting. So yeah, there's no weakness. There's no weakness, right? There's absolutely nothing going on for me to consider a short. And we are still inside the resistance. Continue to observe. But yo, guys, at the beginning, I said I was going to be live for an hour to 1.5 hours. Look at us now. 2 hours and almost 45 minutes. Let's summarize. And I got to go, man. I got to go. I got other stuff. Plus, it is so incredibly warm. I'm going to take a dip in the ocean, yo. But I like that Panda Wave. Good job, man. That's also what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear. Perfect. Summary. On the weekly time frame, the probabilities are higher for the bullish scenario, where we are looking for still a wave 5 towards the upside and price to make a new all-time high. This is your main area for a wave 4. We want to move up for wave 5. Probabilities on the daily time frame are higher for a 3-wave structure if we hit 60K as well, preferably 60. We also invalidate a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which means that your most bullish scenario almost is going to be a finished 3-wave structure ABC with the low in and look for a bigger impulse to the upside. Your bearish scenario, which I haven't covered here, but that is going to be a bigger WX and then a Y, where this is ABC. That will come, but the highest probability, nonetheless, even a WXY is still bullish, because even though you might then look for another low, you're still going to look up, right? So highest probability on the daily is higher for a 3-wave corrective structure and a continuation of the bull market. And then on the, let's say 1 hour time frame, right? We are currently at resistance. continue to be said, or it has to be said still, that not at least touching the 382 is very rare for a finished wave B or 2. And even if price continues up, it is the way it is, but we continue to observe. So having a finished B or 2 in a flat ABC here, not touching the 382, is very rare, right? So that is what explains the potential for an A, B, and then a wave C to the downside. However, at the moment, we do not see any weakness here. So what I am looking for, which hopefully helps you in a way, is if we are looking for a bigger flat, where we want to see price move down into the fibs, right? Wave B or 2, and then ABC, or preferably now ABC actually from this high. What we want to see is a rejection in this area. And if price hits the 1.618 on the chart, which is not that one, this one, the probabilities will significantly decrease for a wave B in a flat and another C down. 59.7K increases probabilities to continue to the upside. Now, from a trading perspective, area of resistance, interesting, no signs of weakness. What I would like to see for a potential flat ABC, right, would be rejection, a move to the downside, changing some structure, grinding down, bearish CVDs. We have none of this at the moment. For a potential new position looking for price to move up, right, 65K is very interesting, absolutely. Of course, if someone is not in an existing. But what I want to see is currently we're in resistance. Yeah, what I want to see is price move above, hopefully retest, right, create a bit of a range, grind, and continue with bullish CVDs. I want to see price continue up with bull CVDs. Currently, we are at resistance, right? Whatever happens, it remains rare for a wave 2 or B not to at least touch the 382. Sometimes it's the way it is, no? It's Elliott wave probabilities. It's not my fault. It's Elliott wave's international fault, because that's the info we use, no? But yeah, we continue to observe the area here, right? Currently at resistance. A flat is interesting, and if we do get continuation, I have a plan. I trade the plan, right? But currently, waiting here, if not at least, got stuff running. But new positions, there's no signs of weakness. So yeah, hitting 60K, as mentioned, invalidates a wave 4, and yeah, then we have a new bullish and bearish scenario, which is nice because we do like to see some change at times, right? Well, look at me, look how warm I'm so red. Yeah, I gotta say, live streaming in the Netherlands is less of a workout than live streaming in France, in the south of France, because holy moly, the weather here is of course a lot more sunnier, it's a lot warmer, and of course, like, air cons and windows, but actually we have 2 air cons and more, but actually not in my office. No, why did I choose this room? But it's very warm. It's like a workout. So every time I go live. So it's time to dip in the ocean, into the bath. So thanks everyone for being here. Not yet. I would support like 60K is more safe, Arturo, answering that question there. So thanks everyone for being here. Thanks for participating. And yeah, I hope you found it useful, right? I just did a summary at the end. I will put the timestamp of the summary in the VOD of the live stream. And yeah, we covered so much in chatting and Q&A, answered so many questions. So if you like to go through that, of course, that's from minute 40 till pretty much now. The summary of all the probabilities and what I'm looking for has been done literally like 4 minutes ago. So there you go. And the analysis starts at 18 if you want to see the whole thing. And now we, of course, have some new information to play with. And with the summary, you now know the most recent updates of what I'm looking for. So thanks, everyone. A new update will appear tonight, a normal Bitcoin update. So a normal video of about 10 minutes with the information that you need and what I'm looking for from an Elliott wave point of view. So yeah, trade safe, have a plan, have a strategy. And then I'm going to see you tonight with a normal video and another live stream tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're going to compare the Ethereum chart with the Bitcoin chart because ETH looks significantly different compared to Bitcoin. So have a plan, trade the plan, stick to the rules. Exactly, Panda. Cheers, everyone.